today's video we are going to talk about magneto-hydrodynamics, but we're not just talking about that anywhere, we are talking about that at the wonderful Bardney Manor. So behind me now is the manor at Bardney, and what a place this is. There is so much history here, inside and out, and albeit we are going to talk a little bit about the science behind magneto-hydrodynamics, we're also going to talk about the history of this place. But who better to tell us about it than the lady of the manor? Hiya, Sam.
Hi, Ashley. Hi.
So yeah, we're here and we want to learn everything there is about it.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about the manor.
So the manor, Bardney Manor, is one of Lincolnshire's best kept secrets. It was the home of John Sharp in the 18th century, and John was the founder of many seed varieties of vegetables and flowers, and he came here in the 18th century and turned this manor house into a famous house for growing vegetables and flowers, and he carried that on for over 50 odd years.
Wow,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
And I know I've had a little sneak peek myself. You showed me a little booklet earlier, and that goes back years and years, all the vegetables, all the flowers that he grew. And now you've come in here and you're relighting the spark. You know, you're bringing what used to happen here back to life.
Yeah, so we're just restoring the kitchen wall garden, and we're putting all those varieties that you've seen in that book, Ashley, back into the kitchen garden.
Well, thank you so much, Sam, for having us here. And we've already had a little bit of a walk round, and we are going to talk about magneto-hydrodynamics. But we've got this amazing place around us, so we're also going to talk about the history of Bardney Manor. So yeah, kickstart. Tell us a little bit about how you became the owner, the lady of the manor, and the history about it.
Well, we've been here just over 3 years now, Ashley. And yeah, so the history of the manor house is this particular manor house here that we're in now is 17th century, and it's built from bricks from Tattersall Castle.
Wow.
So quite old.
Quite old indeed. And with that comes a lot of history, and particularly around the horticultural market. So there'll be tons of people out there who know where I am, and I've been quite fortunate to come back here, because before, when you sort of very much were new to taking this on, there was a lot of work to be done at the time. You've been so busy, I can't believe, well I can, because I know you, but I can't believe what you've done, because you've basically brought the history back to life.
Yeah, we started the restoration of the kitchen wall garden in March last year. It's fair to say from your perception today, when you've been and never done quite a lot in a short space of time. So yeah, that's been brilliant, and we've been able to open up and have people here to come and have a look at the garden, so that's been lovely.
And where did we walk round this morning? Because I know we started at the front, didn't we, where the roses are being...
we went in the front garden, and we went down the Lady of the Manor Rose Walk to the herbaceous border, and then we came out and walked into the kitchen wall garden.
There's a lot of space out there, there's a lot of flowers, plants, and in a moment we'll talk about inside, but that's another conversation in itself. But you get through a lot of water out there.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I mean, as you can see in that kitchen garden, we've got water butts everywhere. So we do try and be sustainable with our water here, because there is a lot to water.
Yeah, and not just water butts, you've got one giant water butt out there. On top of that giant water butt, you've got a well that is just as old as the building.
Yeah, this well, so when John Sharp came to live here, he was part of the Lincolnshire Drainage Board, and he put wells into the houses in Bardney, and it's brilliant because it's a soak-away well.
Yeah.
So if we empty it with a pump, the next morning it's filled up again. So we've got a continuous supply of water, so when it actually rains, we're happy.
Wow, yeah, I can imagine. And regarding the water that you do use, you've actually used Abimax for forever.
Yeah.
We've obviously worked on the brand, and I say we, I'm taking credit for that. The founders have been working on this for tens of years, and to actually bring it to life has made huge differences And on the topic of the garden, it's made huge differences for you in the garden, hasn't it?
Oh, massively. I remember when I first trialled it about 6 years ago, I trialled it on a wildflower meadow, and I remember getting in touch with one of the founders, and I had to tell him that I had to stake the poppies because they'd grown that tall. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Fantastic. And you can also check some more results out on our case studies and our studies page on the website. We've had some of the results come back consistently of up to 82% bigger yields based on supercharged water using the Abimax products. So it is really fascinating to be able to show that. But how? How does it do it? Well, I think the best way we've described it is imagine after a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything blooming and more vigorous in the
Yeah.
garden? Well, it's the same thing, it's charged water. And what happens is with a storm, it actually conditions the molecules in the water, it structures the water, almost softens them, but structures them, I think is the key word there. So when that water hits the surface of the ground, it's a lot easier for the root systems to absorb and hydrate the plants, because they're not having to go through unconditioned and unstructured water, which makes it difficult because they're filtering through all this stuff they don't need to get to the goodness. So.
And everything looks so much more lush and vibrant. You know, if you think when you've gone out in a thunderstorm, but you get that every day.
Yeah, you do. Now onto the inside of the home, and oh my goodness, this is a big home. So just for people watching, how many bedrooms and how many bathrooms have you got here?
9 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms.
Yeah, just 9 bedrooms and just 5 bathrooms. That is a lot of bathrooms, let alone bedrooms.
Yeah.
And with a lot of bathrooms, there's a lot of water. And just going back to the age of the home, what comes with the age of the home is old pipes.
Yeah.
So how has it been for you? What's your experience of the water here? Is it a hard water area?
Actually, it's really hard here. So when we moved in, the previous owners had fitted a water softening machine because it is that hard.
Yeah.
But there are a few taps in the house that don't have it on, and you can tell the difference. Yeah, you know, limescale everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No. And you've shown me some of those. Because with a house this size, you've got sort of almost like a split system of your water flows that goes through the house. And you've shown me the ones that have got Abimax on it and the ones that have not. Just for people watching, with that water softener, is there a lot of maintenance needed? Do you need to top it up? Do you need to refill things?
Yeah, you do actually. So you've got to keep filling it up every probably 3 or 4 months. And you have to remember to do that because it's in the back. So whereas the Abimax, you just fit it once and forget about it.
That's it. That is something we really want to push. But with the one you've got, that's with salts.
Yeah, so you've got to buy salts in all the time and make sure it's filled up to a level, and then it does its work at night. So there is a big maintenance issue with that. Yeah.
And it's not just about the maintenance. So with Abimax, yes, it helps with reducing maintenance, keeping on top of conditioning your water, but it's limescale. It's that limescale build up in your kettle, on the end of the taps, shower heads, you name it. We've all got limescale to a degree, somewhere or another. And this product just completely reduces limescale. And on top of that, how much hard water, not only you, but people all over the country wash themselves with it. You're washing your hair, you'll notice with hard water, it's hard to get soap off your hands.
Yeah.
And that is because the hard water just doesn't have the consistency in the molecules to really get into the soap to get it off your hands.
So you're using more soap, you're using more shampoo because you don't get a lather. So all in all, it's costing you more money.
Absolutely. And talking about the cost of things, it's your heating. So one of the biggest things we love to push is, albeit you can have the Abimax MagnoStream Pro, which is a whole house system, and it's that powerful, and even solve this whole home with all of those bedrooms and bathrooms, but we've got the MagnoStream product. And where we recommend using that, as well as the garden, it's on the inlet and the outlet of your boiler. And the reason for that, you want to charge your water going in, and if you are on heating on the regular, especially in winter, you are filtering through that water quite consistently.
Yeah.
But if you're not, that water can sit in your boiler for up to 2 days, and by that point the charge is gone. So as you're pulling the water out, you want to continue that charge. What does it do for your boiler? Well, it's going to help you be more efficient with your boiler, the usage of water, and also your heating. And inevitably, your costs are going to go down. You're going to save money on energy, you're going to save money on use of water, and the list of benefits just really goes on to the point it's better for your hair, it's better for your skin, and it's better for your daily lifestyle.
And it's better for the environment.
Yeah, definitely. And not just us, the chickens.
Oh, the dogs, the chickens, your house plants, you know, everything. Everything needs water in life, so everything benefits from it.
That's
Definitely.
it. Well, I'm so fortunate to be here, so thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
And this is the reason we put this together, is share a bit of history, but also just share the fact that oh, we've got an intruder, we've got little Dotty. She come up there, does she? Hello, Dotty. Come on in, Dotty, come. And here's a little Dotty. But it's to share that we at Abimax not only have a lot of love for little beautiful animals like Dotty, but we love making water better, and I think it's crucial. But if you've got any questions, whether it's for me or it's about the beautiful Bardney Manor, then reach out to us direct, reach out to Sam. I'm sure you'll be able to share so much more history about this place, but equally a lot of advice, whether it's not only about water but about the gardening as well.
Definitely. Broken pot.
She's got it up there again. Oh.